Hey, what's up guys? Dr. Jim coming at you here on a Saturday from my kitchen, and these next two videos that we're gonna film today are more or less from you guys requesting me sharing some of the recipes, some of the weird stuff I've been eating lately. In the office, you guys know I've always got my Yeti with me, and inside of that every day is my homemade bone broth. So I'm gonna share with you the recipe on how to prep the bones, the bone marrow bones, which you guys might hear in the background. They're already in the oven cooking up, and then we're gonna transfer those over to the slow cooker, and I'll show you guys a completely walkthrough, very easy, but that way you guys can start making some of this stuff up at home. In Ohio, it's getting cold. We're in November now, so a lot of this stuff is great to be doing in the morning, you know, just to warm you up and get your soul feeling real good for the day. And then it is also important to be getting this stuff in, you know, in the diet anyways, just because it helps get collagen into your diet, which improves so many things, but take care of the soft tissue, decrease inflammation, good for your joints, and it's really, really good for digestion. So we want to make sure we're getting that in each week. Very easy to do. The local butcher down here in Ohio, Duma's in Mogador, Ohio, they have bone marrow bones there, and I think they're between $1.99 and $2.99 a pound, depending upon the week. So it's super easy. I usually go ahead and get between 3 and 5 pounds each week of the bones, and then I'll show you guys how we're gonna prep those for the slow cooker. The second video that we're gonna cook, kind of out there, kind of weird, but I'm gonna walk through what we do with making some organ burgers. Danny Vega, I know you'll be super proud of this one, but what we do is we get what they call, and don't think this is weird, pet grade food. It's not pet food, but what it is it's 1/3 beef fat, 1/3 beef liver, and 1/3 beef heart, but they've already ground it up. So all you gotta do is take some of this, 2 pounds, and mix it with 2 pounds of ground chuck, and then you have 4 pounds of a mixture that allows you to get some of the vital nutrients that come in with beef liver and beef heart that you just can't really quite get from a multivitamin. And I won't bore you on the details on this video, but you guys know you only absorb so much on a multivitamin, but when you get it from a true like animal source, your body absorbs it all. So it's really important to be getting that in at your own risk. I know where I get this from. You know, they mentioned that it's not safe for human consumption. The reason being is that when they grind the meat through the grinder there at the butcher, some of the meat may not come through on that same day. So they worry about, like, could there be a little bit of, you know, something that falls through a week later, or when it comes to beef heart, there's this really strong connective tissue and tendon-y type structure that if you bite down too hard, you know, it could, you know, hurt your teeth or what have you. So you just have to be careful. Obviously, you got to fish through some of that stuff. When they deem it for pet food, then obviously they don't care because your dogs, you know, can break this stuff down in their stomachs. But I've been doing this for 2 months now. I've had 0 issues. I feel great. Actually, my energy's been through the roof. And there'll be another video down the road too where I'll show you some of the cool stuff that I get behind the scenes, including just straight up beef liver. I know you guys think like liver and onions. It's not that. We're not frying it. You actually can sear it really quick on both sides. And I mean, it's incredible how many vitamins come from beef liver. So if it's not for everybody here, you guys can turn this video off. For those of you who've been trying to improve your diet, improve some of the micronutrients that you're getting in on the daily from food, from actual food, you know, this is really important. These 2 videos could really help you out. For sure, the bone broth is for everybody. And as far as this kind of weird organ burger mix, it might just be for those who feel like they want to try something a little bit different. But I've never felt better. Like I said, since I've been cleaning up the diet and stuff, you know, I'm down 15 pounds and I feel great and my energy's through the roof. And on the shot of this video, which is the 16th of November, I've actually been 14 weeks without any caffeine, no pre-workout, no coffee, and I have more energy than ever. And for those of you who see me at 7 or 8 a.m. and then maybe have seen me at 7 or 8 p.m. on that same day, you know my energy is exactly the same all day long. And it's been kind of nice to know that you don't need the caffeine. My workouts have been great too, but it's just changing a few things in the kitchen that's made all the difference. So without further ado, let's jump into some of these recipes. This video will be at the beginning of both the bone broth video and then also for the organ burger video as well, okay? As always, if you guys have any questions or any feedback, send it my way. All right, guys, so for those of you who've clicked on this video, you're clearly a little bit excited or intrigued on how to make the organ meat burgers, okay? So what we've done here is we've got a mixture of 1/3 beef fat, 1/3 beef liver, 1/3 beef heart, already ground up from the local butcher. And then we're gonna take ground beef, ground chuck actually, in the equal amounts. So 2 pounds, 2 pounds. We're gonna mix them in a bowl. I do suggest using some type of like a food grade glove, like a rubber glove, not something that has latex that's gonna make your food taste rubbery, but something, because what ends up happening is that the mixture of the beef fat, beef liver, beef heart actually becomes kind of pasty in your fingers, and it can be a real pain in the butt to clear off because it's got a high fat content. So use the gloves, that way you can get in there and really mix everything up. The only ingredients I put in mine is going to be the 2 different meats, okay? And then I just take a fair amount of pink Himalayan salt or Redmond's real salt. And then that's as simple as I put it. You know, a lot of people don't realize that they might be sensitive to black pepper, cayenne pepper, things like that. Ground onion, ground garlic, those types of things. You guys can add whatever you want in there for taste, but sometimes just start real basic and then you can always add the next time you make the recipe. But it's awesome. It's super easy to do. And, you know, it yields, I think it's about 6 10-ounce burgers once I make them. So if you have 1 or 2 a day, that'll last you between 3 and 6 days. And I just keep them in the fridge too, and pick at them throughout the day. But again, it's kind of got a funky taste, but if you realize what's in it, sometimes you can just start to feel so amazing. Now remember, like, disclaimer, I'm just shooting this video out of sheer curiosity that you guys had into an insight of what I do at home. So call it what you want, but you guys are always responsible for what you put in your body, so don't blame it back on me for anything. But I just can't tell you enough how great I've been feeling. So per your request, I'm sharing this video with you, but then give me feedback on, hey, this tastes awesome. Hey, this tastes super gross. Hey, I feel great. Hey, I didn't notice any difference, whatever it might be. But I always like feedback because I took the time to shoot the video. Let me know how you guys feel, okay? So I'm going to tilt the camera down, get you kind of in the mixing bowl. Maybe it'll be a little time lapse so you can see how I make the burgers, and then weigh them out, and then I put them on a pan, and then they go in the oven, and I'll walk you through all that, okay? Give me feedback. Let me know what you think. All right, guys, so now we're gonna take the organ burgers and throw them in the oven at 400 for about 15-20 minutes. If you guys are a little nervous about things being cooked all the way through, let's go 400 for 20 minutes, and then you can kill the heat and let them sit in there for an extra 5, 10, 15 minutes. Probably gonna keep mine about 15, 20 since I've done this before. Sometimes 20 to 25 minutes dries them out too much, but you certainly won't have to worry about anything being raw or anything like that. So I'd always err on the size of medium to medium well. Although normal burgers, I like medium rare, somewhere in there, but just be careful. Make sure you guys cook them a little bit. All right, let's check out these burgers. Yummy. And there you have it, guys. There's the final product of the organ meat burgers. They look awesome. They smell great. And I wanted to go over one more thing for you guys, because I know some of you have been messaging me about, hey, you know, is there really that much benefit to including or excluding red meat in the diet and organ meat? You guys have to remember, a lot of the quote unquote like scare tactics that were used 20, 30, 40 years ago by medical doctors were, they were trying to scare people away from the saturated fats that found in red meats, the salts, all that stuff. Couldn't be more wrong. And you guys got to do their own research on your own. There's so much great information out there of including red meat in your diet a couple times a week. Salt, there's nothing to be scared of. It's more scared if you don't include them, because you can get certain things found, you know, in these types of meats that you just can't get from taking supplements and things like that. So you want to make sure that you're including those throughout the week. But as always, like, listen to your body. I mean, if you want to be vegan and see how great you feel, but judge it over the course of a month to 6 months to a year. See how great you feel. If you want to be carnivore or you want to be on a keto diet, like, do those things, but do them thoroughly. Do them the right way. A lot of mistakes I see when people do keto is they don't include enough salt, so they get tired all the time. But once you actually balance your electrolytes out, not to go too nerdy here, but remember, in the presence of carbohydrates, your kidneys do something different with your electrolytes than lacking carbohydrates. So when you're on a ketogenic diet, you have to take in so much sodium or good salt throughout the day, or else your body will actually feel sluggish and you will feel fatigued, and you won't feel like your workouts are any good or your energy throughout the day is good. But when you have it locked in and you've pinpointed, you know, exactly what your daily nutritional requirements are, you're never going to feel better. And that's where I'm at right now. Is I'm following like a 99% animal-based diet that I've never felt this good. And I've done pretty much every diet out there, you know. And so anyways, what I wanted to say was make sure that you guys, if you're going to include muscle meat, you know, like the chicken thighs, the chicken breast, or the ground beef or ribeye or sirloin, or, you know, around Thanksgiving we have turkey. Those are all like muscle meat, you know, things that come, but you have to include a little bit of like the organ meats, because you don't want to have to get in too much of an imbalance when we start talking about glycine and things like that. If you find that you have a very high meat diet, not getting much organ meats, you know, there could be an imbalance there coming from the collagen category, to which you can supplement by making the bone broth, which I'm going to shoot another video here. But you can also supplement by getting what's called glycine, and glycine is just like think of a very basic amino acid powder, and you can add that to like a mineral water, and it's actually really refreshing when you drink it, but it'll like bubble up and stuff like that. But you can stir that up and have that 1, 2, 3 times a day to help balance out things, you know, that helps build nail, hair, connective tissue throughout the body. But I want to make sure that I teach you guys to dig deep. You know, don't take things just always at the surface. You know, a lot of times you're taking nutritional advice from a medical doctor who's 150, 200 pounds overweight, who's maybe a ticking time bomb in the heart disease category. These, you know, medical doctors are good at prescribing meds, and then whatever they've specialized in. So remember, if you're going to take nutritional advice, find someone who's actually walking the walk and diving into it as well. I'm not saying you all need to come see me, but just make sure that, you know, you can pick up a book, read. You know, there's so many great things out there you can be watching and learning. And so just remember that, you know, you're in charge of your own health. And if you can sprinkle in a couple of these things throughout the weeks or throughout the months, you might just feel better. And that's where I'm at right now. And I'm always happy to help you guys out. So give these a try. Tell me if you like them. Not going to lie, they smell pretty good right now. So I can't wait to dive into one of these. And I've been intermittent fasting all day too. So time's about 2:30. So I'm probably going to break the fast here, dive into a burger, and then we're going to finish up the other video for the bone broth.